surprised you're even here right now and not overwatching Disney Plus, but since you're here, let's talk all things Disney Plus. What should you watch, what should you not, and we're just gonna honestly probably discuss a lot of it below. Hello and welcome to the Queendom. I'm Sarah Engel, and today we are talking all things Disney Plus. By the time you see this, it will be out for almost a week. I wanted to make sure that I got a full opportunity to watch a lot of the things on it before we discussed it together and go into all the details of what things should be at the very top of your list, like must watch right now. Maybe some things that maybe you should deprioritize, and just discuss things because we're an interactive community and we like to do that. So we're gonna start with something that I actually was lucky enough to get to see before it came out on Disney Plus, because thank you, Disney. Thank you! Disney invited me to the cast screening and party of High School Musical, the series. So that itself was a really cool experience. I very quickly put right away on the top of my list of things to watch is High School Musical, the series, for a few reasons. High School Musical, the series, first of all, longest show name ever. The premise of it, the real school where High School Musical was filmed has supposedly never done a production of High School Musical. It's a funny sounding premise, but it's kind of like, almost like if you crossed Glee with The Office, two very successful shows. And there's like a pinch of Disney. I wouldn't even call it a pinch of High School Musical. There are some references to High School Musical in it, but you definitely don't need to be a High School Musical fan to watch it. If you're not a super huge fan of High School Musical, I hope you don't let that stop you from watching this show, because you honestly don't need to like High School Musical to watch it. There's some great one-liners in it. I think he was the choreographer. He's like in the gym. I don't remember what exactly he was doing, but this teacher comes up to him. He's like, "Isn't there somewhere you should be?" And he's like, "Yes, Broadway." Apparently when I laugh, I bounce and flap my arms. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. Be weird if you really want to be. I really enjoyed it. I thought the show was hilarious, and you guys, like, I know this is like an added bonus, but the cast was there and they were super nice people. They're super talented too. All of them are actual teenagers. They didn't go about hiring people like me who are vampires and just look like teenagers for forever. No, they cast real teenagers. I think that makes a big difference with the relatability of it. It's good, 2 thumbs up. If I had a third hand, it would get a third thumb up. I really liked it. I think that's like, this is the type of content I want to see on Disney Plus. I thought it was great, and I can't wait to see what happens in episode 3 and beyond. I was really excited for Encore. If you don't know what Encore is, it's a new series that's just for Disney Plus. Basically, the premise is they get together people that were in musicals in their high schools together, and they get the same cast back together now that they're all adults and redo the musical. And I have them work with these talented people that like from Broadway and coach them into doing the show again. It's supposed to be this fun journey. I love the premise of it. Like, there was nothing that they did wrong with it. It's just something about it was so depressing. It felt like watching people who gave up on their dreams. It was kind of cringy to watch. It's not that they gave up on their dreams. Okay, here's like the truth. I couldn't even watch the whole thing. I had to kind of skip some of it because it made me so uncomfortable. And it just also reminded me of like me when I was in high school. I only did one musical that was at my school. Every other musical I did was theater outside of my school. Our school was terrible. It was the worst production I've ever been in. It was absolutely awful. And it's like, it reminds you of it, and it's like, yeah, I had fun with the people that I did that with, but I would absolutely never, ever wanted to relive that or high school. I get some people have a really great high school life and want to relive that, but I don't. But yeah, it's not that I think that anyone did a bad job with it. Great idea. Even good execution. Like, it was literally just like when you actually put the microscope on and see it unfold, there's something about it that's just You know what? Maybe if I had had a more positive experience in high school, I would feel really differently about it. Like if you had a really good high school experience, you might feel differently about it and love it. And absolutely tell me in the comments below if you did like it. I won't keep talking about that one. We'll move on to things that I loved. So I've held it off till number 3. Number 3, the one that I feel like everybody's talking about because it's so good, is The Mandalorian. And I don't even want to spend too much time talking about it, but it's almost impossible because if you've been around here a while, you know I really, I love Star Wars. I know that the whole Disney buying Star Wars things with some groups is very controversial, but for me, I'm like, okay, like Disney is like one of my favorite things, and Star Wars has been like my favorite thing since 3rd grade, and now they're like all together. Yay! Like I'm excited about like the general concept of that. Like this goes way back. I remember one time I was at this event and I was supposed to make an Easter bonnet, and all the girls were doing what they were supposed to do and making Easter bonnets. And there was like this big black spool, and instead of making an Easter bonnet, I took the spools that had like twine or whatever on them, and I made a lightsaber instead of an Easter bonnet. Like my summer vacation was memorizing all the names of the members of the Jedi Council and like what planet they were from and their species. Like the thing that I've been obsessed with longer than anything in the world is Star Wars. So for me, The Mandalorian was so good. Like the first episode was very cool. The second episode, I heard some people felt like the second episode was filler, but for me, I loved it. The Jawas, you guys, I love Jawas so much. I'm just trying to explain to you guys, I'm not like your average Star Wars fan. It's a problem. I was next level obsessed. Like I wore my hair in Princess Leia buns every day for probably 3 years straight. I didn't think I would like The Mandalorian as much as I did because I'm more of like I'm into like the Force, Jedi, lightsabers. For me, it'd be more a show like this Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I can't even tell you how excited I am for that. Like, that was me stomping. I'm so excited for that, especially with how good of a job they're doing with The Mandalorian now. This is truly like a Western in space. The part that doesn't feel super Star Wars is the score, but it works so well. I think it's going to grow on all of us and we're gonna start to grow attached to that music, but it is very different. The second episode to me really felt like Star Wars. Like I have a very hard time watching something and just watching it and not doing anything else. The first episode I probably watched like at least 5 times. So another thing we have that's a new original is Forky Asks a Question, and I'm really enjoying it so far. We're gonna have a whole series of basically Forky educating us about things, which I also really like because my Forky DIY video is already one of my top performing videos on my entire channel. So if you guys wanna see how to make your very own Forky, you can check that out. But it's just cute. Forky's such a likable little creature and it's educational. I really liked Forky Asks a Question. I also like learning things, which leads us very well into the world according to Jeff Goldblum. And honestly, I don't really know who Jeff Goldblum is, so I have to Google him. Oh, he was in Jurassic Park. He's that guy. I knew he looked familiar. Okay, now that I realize he's the Jurassic Park guy, I have been struggling to figure out a way to explain and describe the world according to Jeff Goldblum. It is so very just linked and just woven with his personality, where if you like his personality and his sense of humor and his wit and just him, you're gonna love this show. It's also very educational, which I like. I love learning things. I like how he to kind of dive deep into something that we see every day, and I think that's kind of what's unique about it. But it's not in a boring way. If you like Jeff Goldblum, you like his sense of humor, you like his personality, you're gonna like the show. I feel like as I watch it and as I get to know his personality more, I'll probably continue to like it more and more. I'm giving this one thumbs up. We should watch it. I'm curious what you guys think of this one because it's very different. Lady and the Tramp. Lady and the Tramp is very, very much like the cartoon. It's cuter. I feel like it is more interesting. It's like freshened up version of Lady and the Tramp. If you like Lady and the Tramp, the original, you will like the live action. And it's really cute. Like, I was a little worried about it. One of the original pictures they put out, it was not a good picture of Lady, and I was afraid. I was like, oh no, did they pick dogs that weren't cute? Fear not! They're really, really cute. Like, especially Lady as a puppy, it was like so cute. The cinematography on it was so pretty. I mean, the opening shot with like Christmas and flying in, it was so pretty. It was just like this quintessential, just like Christmassiness about it. I loved it. If you like Lady and the Tramp the cartoon, you'll probably like Lady and the Tramp the live action, because it's basically the same thing. Okay, so another one that I'm really excited for, but I didn't want to watch all of it yet because it's just so Christmassy, is Noelle. In fact, we even have a DIY based somewhat off of the trailer that's coming up. Probably be the first video that comes out in December, so you guys will have to check back for that one. But you guys will see some stuff like even on Instagram. I'm working on some stuff actually like with Disney Plus for that. That'll be really cool, and I am excited for it. I don't want to watch Christmas movies before Thanksgiving. I'm one of those people, I just feel like it feels too early. But if you want to go ahead and watch it, watch it. But I will be pushing all the Noelle on you once December is here, don't worry. So we'll talk more about that later. I watched the beginning because I was particularly interested in seeing one of her outfits at the beginning. Little hint to what's coming. I'm just not in the mood for Christmas yet. Another one that I've heard everybody really, really loves is the Imagineering story. Like, full transparency, I have not watched the whole thing yet. I came from corporate before I did YouTube videos, and it feels to me very, very, very corporate. And so I actually paused it. I was like, I'm just not in the mood for this right now. I'll come back and watch it later. I'm sure it's really good. Some people watched it and even cried. They said it was really good. So I am gonna go back and watch it. You guys can tell me what you thought of it. I feel like you gotta be in the right mood for that. But I kind of wish I had seen it because everybody now is talking about how good it is. So we've talked a lot about the original stuff. There's still more things coming out. I can't wait to see Monsters at Work. I can't wait to see the Obi-Wan series. I can't wait to see the Lizzie McGuire reboot. There's so much fun stuff that is coming, and there's so much like new stuff to just digest. The only other one I know, Family Sunday, it was really cute, and I feel like everybody on there seemed like they're super nice. It just felt like it was filmed and done very much like, oh, it's like a YouTube DIY video, but it was done so professionally. There was just, it kind of lost some of like the appeal that a YouTube DIY has. Something about watching like a full-on professional film crew do a YouTube style DIY felt disjointed. It felt like it could have belonged on YouTube when something's too overproduced, but doing something that people enjoy watching because of how simple, just like that at-home vibe. It's something weird about it. There's so much to watch on here. I want to touch on some things that are old that maybe you missed when it first came out or you just haven't watched it. I've been like just leaving on in the background the Clone Wars, big surprise, Star Wars nerd, whatever channel it was on when it was coming out on TV. We didn't have it then, so I never got to watch it as it was coming out. But I think Star Wars Rebels are on there as well. I will be getting to that one too. So movie-wise, there's a lot of good DCOMs. I'm personally a big fan of the Xenon trilogy. I'm sensing a pattern here. I evidently really like futuristic-y sci-fi things that come in threes. It was not the most popular of DCOMs, but if you like Star Wars, Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century is a good one. There's Xenon the sequel, and I think it's Xenon Z3. I highly recommend Xenon, and if there's one thing that you guys know about me, if you've ever been here before at all, watched almost any of my videos, you know the one thing that I'm gonna tell you you need to watch is Tangled the series. It is the best Disney thing ever. I love it with like every fiber of my being. If you like Star Wars and you like Disney princesses, you will love Tangled the series. I have a whole video on who I think should watch Tangled the series. It's not as geared towards little kids. It truly reminds me of just like Star Wars with like the lore and everything it has. You kind of get into the backstory of like where her hair powers came from. The character development is good. The music's so good. The music is like on par or better than like just any other Disney princess movie. Alan Menken wrote all of the music for it too. So you guys now have Tangled the series available to you on Disney Plus. So if you haven't watched it yet, you now have no excuse not to watch it. I think the last season, because it's still going on, is not on it yet. But if you have access to Disney Now, or if you have the Disney Channel, you can watch Disney Now, you can watch all of those episodes still. And I personally, like, I just buy all the series seasons on iTunes. But you can, there's a lot to catch up on. So catch up on the other seasons, and by the time you catch up, we will probably be done with the whole series, which is sad. But then it'll be available for you, and then you can continue watching. But there's no excuse now. That is my #1 recommendation. #1 recommendation, Tangled the series. #2 recommendation, The Mandalorian. #3 recommendations, High School Musical, the series. I wasn't even planning to do a 1, 2, and 3, but we did. Super excited about this. And I think the one question that you keep seeing over and over again is Disney Plus worth it? You're getting basically everything Disney has ever made for like almost a century. And it's only like, what is it, like $6, $7? Is it worth it? Yeah, like absolutely. There's so much content and some of the best movies, best series that has ever been. If you're gonna buy any subscription to anything, I think Disney Plus is the way to go. And am I biased? Absolutely. I think a lot of people will agree. And just the quality of things we're seeing coming out of it. The Mandalorian is unlike anything I have ever seen out of any sort of series. I think High School Musical, the series is really entertaining. I think there's a lot of promising new stuff that is coming out, and just the access to basically every Disney movie of all time, every DCOM, every Disney Channel show. It's insane. So absolutely recommend it. For those of you who are in countries where it's not out yet, hang in there. I know it's coming to you soon. There's just always complications when it comes to things being international. I'm sorry, you've got to wait. Tell me in the comments below what your favorite thing is on Disney Plus so far, and if there's something that you know is coming to Disney Plus that you're really excited about, what it is that you want to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and ring the little bell. You really want to ring that little bell because you don't want to miss the videos here because you're too busy watching stuff on Disney Plus. So you really need those notifications coming to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and have a good one, I guess. I don't know, that was such a strange, awkward ending, but you know what? We're still YouTube. We're not a big fancy Disney Plus so we can have awkward endings if we want one. Noodle, noodle. Let's save that for later. Yeah, there's a little bit of like references. There's a little bit. Don't apologize. Wise words from Sarah the Weird. Why is this so wobbly? Why do I keep breaking all the things? I've given it what my shadow, light, shadow, light. Only see the results of the crazy writing. I just spit. Ha 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 ha.